shake our faith in the justice system.
Okay. So we don't know. So I want to put that out. We don't know at what point of time, for example, was the CGI potentially informed.
Yes,
was it on the 15th morning itself? Was it a couple of days later? Was it yesterday morning? We don't know this. So it would be useful if we know this, because it would end these conversations for sure. Potentially, it could be that the matter actually came to the highest officer in the land, maybe just a few hours ago or a day ago, and immediately action was ordered, because there would have been intervening authorities. And this is speculation. If the speculation suggests that indeed, incidentally, due to the nature of a fire, certain officers of the fire brigade who attended the fire spotted something which they purported to be large amounts of cash, and they photographed or videographed this, potentially they would have sent it to their immediate supervisor, who would have sent it to his or her supervisor, who would have then sent it up the chain of command, which would have ended at a particular nodal person, who would have then informed the office of the Chief Justice at some stage of time. Now, how long this took, whether this was a matter of hours, whether this took several days, we don't know at what point of time who was informed. So I want to be careful here. Let me get Mr. Tanuj Dixit into this conversation. Mr. Dixit, we are reiterating that we are in the vacuum of information here, but the matter is now also before Parliament. We are in a complex Pandora's box here, sir. It can go in many directions, and I suspect it will go in more directions than we can currently imagine. It will not just be about this case or this judge. We are going to see conversations about appointment of judges and ethics of judges and procedure of removal and procedure of transfer. All of these things will now suddenly come under scrutiny. Is that fair enough? Should they?
Yes, absolutely. See, what is happening here, or it's absolutely shocking. Like, it's tarnishing the image of the judiciary system in India. Like, we have already seen that in the past many years, like if we will talk about the we have heard about the impeachment process earlier, but you are not, or I think the many of the people are not aware about the procedure what should be followed to be over here in this kind of matters. So in 1999, the Supreme Court issued a guideline for this dealing in the claim of corruptions as well as wrongdoing or any judicial irregularity against the constitutional court judges. So in that guideline, it was well mentioned that any receiving upon any complaint, the Chief Justice is the first person, like will file a request and first response from the judges concerned. If he is dissatisfied from the answer which has been submitted to him, after that inquiry, he will form an internal committee which consists of one of the judge from the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, as well as two Chief Justice of the High Courts.
Okay, so Tanuj, let me just interrupt you here, because for people watching, let's take it step by step. So we are talking about reasonableness, okay, regardless of what we suspect and what we think or what we assume, reasonableness. So in a reasonable amount of time, we are hoping that the matter was brought before the CGI, who eventually has to decide. We have to assume that the CGI would have to give a reasonable amount of time for a colleague judge of the High Court to respond and explain what exactly has taken place, to what the CGI evidence or quote unquote thereof the CGI has been presented. A reasonable amount of time should have been given to him, I'm assuming. What is reasonable amount of time in this case? A day, 2 days?
No, this is not like that. It is completely depends over the system. Like those who will be the charge for this basically this internal committee, they will decide that how much time they are taking to finalize and analysis this particular things. And as I already told that the collegium have already make his transfer, that shows that the CGI have took very seriously to this matter, and definitely it will lead to somewhere earlier. Later on, we will discuss about one more thing we have heard in our public platforms, that is called impeachment. But the impeachment process, let me explain you that from the process of impeachment up to that time after independence, there is no judge has been ever removed. So in India, it's very hard to get this kind of process. and it's very,
Okay,
we
so
have
I want to slow things down, because yes, it is the prerogative of Parliament from which an impeachment can happen with either 100 Rajya Sabha MPs or 50 Lok Sabha MPs who
absolutely,
move an impeachment motion, after which the Chief Justice has to form a committee which comprises of himself in this case. They have to report back to Parliament whether the committee approves a motion to be brought to the floor. Then a motion has to be passed by 2/3 majority mandating the President of India to remove a judge. It is, in my memory, unprecedented. Impeachment motions have been attempted, but they have not been tried. Tanuj, one quick question, because I have Vivek Tankha waiting. If a judge was to resign, would a resignation be perceived as an admission of guilt? Would it affect his defense?
no, it won't help to its defense actually, because if you are giving a resignation, it should be with a concrete reason, and that reason that is also been acceptable by the CJ only, and they will the only authority to will decide whether that should be accept or not. Yes.
Mr. Jotwani, does